The movie starts with a shot of Mark W.D., one of the heads of the bubble business. Mark is a scientist who makes Babot, a robot. This robot is meant to be a friend for people, and Mark hopes that the Babot will be the best friend for people. Go, Heil, switch up your rabbit music. Don't get me wrong. Amazing safety choices to stay connected to the bubble network at all times. Oh my gosh, in this way, out of the box, your best friend. Let's get started. After some time, it seemed like every kid except for Barney Pedosky had his own Bebot. One day, Barney lives with his dad and grandma. While Barney was on vacation, he went to school and met all kinds of Bebots. He must have really wanted his own Bebot, but he couldn't buy one because it was too expensive and he was too busy paying attention to the BBO. Almost hit Barney with a. The driver was lucky and was able to stop the car in time, but when the car stopped, a Bebot fell out and got hurt. When they got to school, they saw that every kid had BBOs. The other kids think Barney is weird because he doesn't have his own Bebot. Barney wants to have a birthday party at his house with his school friends on his birthday. But things don't go as planned because he doesn't have any friends at school. In the afternoon, Barney's dad and grandma are with him when he has his birthday party. He would like to get a Bebot for his birthday. This time, the package was brought to the front of the house quickly afterward. Barney was very happy because he thought it was a gift from his father, a Bebot. When it was opened, though, it turned out not to be a bee. And it seems that a school friend named Rich and his group were making fun of him. When the father saw that Barney was sad, he knew that his son wanted a Bebot that night. The sales were where Barney's dad and grandma went. When they got there, they found out that they couldn't buy the Bebot right away because they had to pre-order it 3 months in advance. When Barney's father was about to go home, he saw a male worker moving a broken Bebot that almost hit Barney. Barney's father tried to talk to the worker and bought the bee. When Barney woke up the next day, he was very happy to find a Bebot in his room. He then tried to turn on the Bebot, but strange things were happening. It turned out that the Bebot was a little bit broken, so it couldn't connect to the main Bebot network because it didn't have an internet link. Here we go. Hi, insert registered name. After that, Barney tried to take his Bebot to school, but many things went wrong. Barney finally decided to keep the Bebot in his room. In the afternoon, Barney went into his room to see his Bebot, but when he saw how messy it was, he was shocked. He then went to look for his Bebot and found it dancing with his grandmother in the kitchen. He felt strange about his Bebot. Barney wants to trade in his Bebot at the bubble company, but his grandmother won't let him because his dad worked hard to get the Bebot. But Barney still wants to go there and trade his Bebot while he's there. Rich and his friends came to Barney's to see him. Strange, Rich and his friend made fun of Bebot, but Barney's Bebot didn't like it and beat Rich and his friends. After that happened, Barney started to like his Bebot and wouldn't get a new one. Why did you hit me? Because I don't like you. Dare, I don't like you, dirt droid. Oh well, I'm gonna destroy you. I'm gonna destroy you. What's going on? I'm gonna destroy you. You for real? Step back. I'm gonna destroy. Seriously? Remove trees. Bro, you're making me lose my mind. 41 newtons. No, you can't push, no. We'll have problems. Okay, absolutely. I can't take off his head. Barney's BBO beat Rich, which is how the cops found out about what happened. Soon after, the cops showed up, took Barney and his Bebot to the bubble company, and locked up Bebot. When the cops showed up at the company, they told the workers to destroy Barney's BBO. Barney doesn't want to lose his Bebot, so he sneaks into the room to save it and tries to get away from the company. Unfortunately, his actions started a chase, and Barney had to give up his BBO when he was finally caught. Barney went home after that, and it turned out that he had given the company his BBO. Barney gave his Bebot a name in the car, Ron B. and Scats. Though when Barney got to Ron's house, he started to teach him a lot of things, like where Ron's school is and what Barney likes. After getting to know each other for a while, they went to a hill to watch the sunset together. Barney accidentally pushed Ron over there, and he fell right behind the house of his friend Savannah. Savannah was live streaming on her Bebo at the time of the accident, and the accident was recorded by mistake. The next day, an employee of one of the owners of Bubble Company, Andrew Morris, saw Savannah's popular live video. Andrew will then know that the troublesome Bebot has not been killed. They took steps right away to arrest Ron. Barney left Ron in his chicken coop when he went to school, but Ron went out to try to find Barney a friend. Ron then followed Barney to school as Barney was leaving. Ron shows the people in town what he has. Ron asked the people he had gathered if they would be willing to be friends with Barney. Ron was very scared and worried about Barney because he had no friends at all. Even though Ron wants to help, Barney doesn't like it when he brings people to school. Barney was called to the principal's office, and Rich started to like Ron after seeing what he did. Rich asked Ron how he could do that without permission from the owner. Ron said that if he didn't have a security system, Rich could tell his Bebot to copy all of Ron's systems. Barney, on the other hand, was in the principal's office waiting for workers of the Bubble Company who wanted to take it. Soon, there was a commotion on the school grounds because the Bebots there started copying Ron's method. As more B-bots try to copy Ron's method, things get even more wild and out of hand. When Rich's B-bots take other people's B-bots, join with them, and turn into giant robots, Rich's B-bot sees Savannah live streaming and makes her feel very embarrassed. It's kind of like the end of the world, but when Bubble Company saw the chaos, they stopped all the B-bots by force. The director then chose to kick Barney out of school. When going home, Ron made Barney so mad that he kicked him out. When Barney got home, he saw a lot of people who worked for the Bubble Company. He ran away right away and hid in the chicken coop, where he saw Ron again. Barney told Ron that he was sorry for being rude. Ron saw that he really cared about Barney and wanted him to have a lot of friends. When he looked at the whiteboard, Ron decided that instead of teaching Barney how to make friends, they would learn how to be best friends together. While they were talking, they heard their father coming into the cage. Barney and Ron jumped out of the cage and ran to Savannah's yard, where they hid. There it is. Seeing that Savannah is sad because of what happened at school, Barney tries to cheer her up and asks her not to tell anyone where he is. After Barney and Ron got away, they ran into the woods to hide. Savannah tries to stop Barney, but he refuses to leave. Then, they played and slept in the forest. Barney's dad and grandma, on the other hand, went to every house and asked Savannah where Barney was. Savannah didn't tell them where Barney was because she had promised. The next day, Savannah meets Rich, and they both start to understand that what they did got Barney into trouble. On the other hand, bad weather caused Barney and Ron a little trouble in the bush. On their second night in the woods, when Ron's energy ran out, the forest turned against them. Ron's energy runs out, so he goes to sleep mode. Then, Barney came out of hiding and tried to find a way to give Ron more energy. But as Barney tried to figure out what to do, he saw a red light. Barney's instinct made him try to avoid a way out until they finally fell in. No, let's go. It turned out that the red light was coming from the B-bots that the Bubble Company was using to catch them. Andrew, who saw Barney fall, didn't tell anyone else about it right away. Andrew was going to let Barney stay in the hole, it turns out. He then told all of the B-bots to come back. Barney had a hard time getting up when he saw the B-bots coming back. Barney's asthma quickly got worse, and Ron tried to save him by taking him home with the last of his strength. Barney is sad and tells Ron to stop, but Ron keeps going. As soon as Savannah and the other students got out of the bush, they went to Barney to help him. Not long after that, Barney's dad, grandma, and one of the company's bosses, Mark, came to save him. After that happened, everyone thought of Ron as a hero, and the Bubble Company had to give up its plan to kill him. Barney, who was just starting to wake up, started telling stories. Before long, Mark said that he had fixed Ron by bringing his computer up to date. Ron, on the other hand, was different. Barney knows right away that the Bobot isn't Ron, so he tells Mark to give Ron's old machine back. Mark can't fix Ron, though, because the Bubble Company system is locked and he can't get in. Everything has been taken over by Andrew, and Mark is now a regular at Bubble Business. Mark then said that there was only one way to fix Ron's system, and that was to get Ron's files that were saved at the company. Barney tries to join the Bubble Company with the help of his dad, grandma, and Mark. Barney's dad turns off the power, and his grandma, dressed as a cleaner, is in charge of making sure they get into the company safely. Mark and Barney got out of Grandma's cart as soon as they got inside and went their separate ways. Mark went to his room so that he could help Barney get into the service center without any problems. Barney was able to get in, and when he did, he saw a lot of Bobot files. Barney doesn't know where Ron's file system is. He kept walking until he was standing in front of him. Andrew, on the other hand, knew that Barney had gotten into the company's cloud, so he told his staff to shut down the system. Barney's dad and Granny got into the server control room at the same time. Andrew told them he didn't like kids very much. Barney, who was stuck in the server room, tried to close his eyes, hoping that Ron could help him. Sure enough, it wasn't long before Ron's file system flashed a light. Barney runs toward the light and finds Ron's computer file system. Mark, on the other hand, tried to get the computer system back up and running. After that, Barney tried to fix Ron's system, and he was successful. Before Barney came back, Ron showed him how his friends were doing, and it looked like they were all alone. Barney then understood that he wasn't the only one who had felt lonely all this time. He saw that Barney had the idea to share Ron's system code so that all B-bots around the world could become best friends like he and Ron. Barney then asks Mark to help him copy Ron's system code so that all of the BBOs can use it. But when they try to copy Ron's code, they find that it is broken, which could cause Ron to lose forever. When Mark noticed this, he stopped using the method right away. Barney, on the other hand, doesn't want Ron to leave either, and he still won't let him, even though Ron has tried to make him understand by telling him that his friends really need real friends like himself now. Then Ron says, if not now, there will never be another chance. When Barney hears this, he finally lets Ron go. Before that, Barney gave Ron one last hug before Ron joined the BBO network around the world. Bebots all over the world used Ron's system code after it was copied and used. I guess Bebots are now good friends for everyone. Stay friends. Go Ron Ao's ab for the best one. To make a long story short, Mark now runs Bubble Company and is in charge. After 3 months, everything is back to how it was. It's just that things aren't the same as they used to be. Barney now has a lot of friends, including Savannah, Rich, Noah, and Alpha. Not only that, but all the Bebots in the world become his friends, and people start calling him King of the Bebots. Now that Rich, Noah, Savannah, and Alpha know and have seen how honest Barney is, they know what it means to be a friend. At the end of the story, Barney's grandma makes chicken feet for the 5 friends to eat together. The lesson of this movie is that we should respect ourselves more and find our ideals to know how important we are. From the story of Ron and Barley, we can also learn what true friendship is all about. A friend who is there for you through good times and bad.